The lawyer's voice was steady, too steady, like he'd rehearsed the line hundreds of times before saying it to me. Before he passed, he changed everything, because of you. I remember gripping my phone tighter, my knuckles white, my pulse a cold, thin thread moving through me. I didn't speak, couldn't, and then he said the sentence that split my world open. Not about the money, not about the inheritance, but why the old man had chosen me. That part rearranged something inside me I didn't know was broken. But I'm ahead of myself. Let me go back. To the night that tilted everything off its axis. I'd been driving for 12 hours straight. Uber wasn't a job, it was a last resort. The remains of my failed business still clung to me like smoke, contracts, debts, and the look in my ex's eyes when she decided I wasn't worth staying for. The city felt colder after that. He got in just before midnight, an elderly man, frail, hands trembling, breath shallow. But his eyes were sharp, like he was studying me, searching for something he'd lost. "You remind me of someone," he whispered, "someone I failed to protect." I didn't respond. I'd learned silence was safer than comfort. But then, at the end of the ride, he placed a card on the seat, his personal card, his name embossed in gold, and beneath it, a tip notification, $20,000. I stared at the screen, numb. He looked at me one last time. "You deserved better," he said softly. "Make sure you take it." Strange words, strange night. But I let it go. The next morning, the lawyer called. The old man had died and left me $89 million. I felt the room tilt, my breath shallow, my heart refusing to understand what my ears had heard. But then came the second sentence, the one that didn't just shake me, it split me open. "He chose you because your name, your face, your existence was hidden from him for 40 years. Your mother kept you from him. You were his son." Silence. Not the stunned kind, the dead kind. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I just listened as the truth pressed down on my ribs. My mother had told me my father wanted nothing to do with me, that he abandoned us, that he never cared. She used that story to justify her bitterness, her control, her constant need to remind me that I owed her for raising me alone. But the lawyer kept talking, his voice steady. "He searched for you, even in his last days, and last night he said he finally saw you." I didn't confront her immediately. No, anger is loud, but truth is quiet, and quiet cuts deeper. I requested every file, every document, every letter the lawyer had. I studied them slowly, coldly. A lifetime of lies laid out in front of me. DNA, old correspondence, court records, her signatures. She'd buried him, buried the truth, buried me, and built her own story from the ashes. I let the evidence sit in my room for 3 days. Didn't sleep, barely ate, just thought. Every memory felt rewritten, every moment suddenly stained. When I finally visited her, she smiled like nothing was wrong, like she still owned the narrative. "How's your little driving job?" she asked, bitterness dressed as concern. I placed the documents on the table, gently, precisely. "Read." That was all I said. Her eyes moved across the pages, slow at first, then frantic. Her breath hitched, her hands shook, her throat worked like she was swallowing knives. Where did you get this?" she whispered. I didn't answer. Her face collapsed into something between guilt and terror. "I did it for us," she tried. "He was dangerous, unstable. I was protecting you." "Stop." Just one word, cold, final. She froze. Because she knew. She knew the tone. She knew the truth had already done what I came to do. I didn't yell, didn't accuse, didn't demand apologies she wasn't capable of giving. I just stood. I met him, I said quietly. He recognized me, even after everything you did to erase me. Tears filled her eyes. But tears are cheap. I don't hate you, I said. I'm just done letting your lies shape who I am. Her face twisted, collapsing into a soundless sob. I walked out. The settlement finalized a week later. Millions transferred. My father's story restored. My mother's rewritten. People think revenge has to be loud, explosive, destructive. But true revenge, the kind that scars, is silent. Because silence forces a person to hear everything they ever tried to bury. I didn't punish her. I didn't need to. The truth did. And as I stood outside that office, inheritance papers in hand, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Not joy, not victory, just clarity. For the first time in my life, the story wasn't hers. It was mine, and I wasn't letting anyone rewrite it again.